Okay, here we go.
We love you, we love you, fam. Billy Goat Tales, I love it here. Billy Goat Tales, the fam is here. Give us can, give us can, give us can, give us can. We love you, fam. We love you, fam. Billy Goat Tales, I love it here. Billy Goat Tales, the fam is here. Give us can, give us can, give us can, give us can. We love you, fam. We love you, fam. Billy Goat Tales, I love it here. Billy Goat Tales, the fam is here. Give us can, give us can, give us can, give us can. We love you, fam. We love you, fam. We love you, fam. Billy Goat Tales, I love it here. Billy Goat Tales, the fam is here. Give us can, give us can, give us can, give us can. We love you, fam. We are Billy Goat Tales. We love you, fam. Hashtag givers gang. 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 We are Billy Goat Tales. We are Billy Goat Tales.
Hey everyone, hola, welcome to Crypto Billy and the Billy Goat Tales and the Jimmy Jim and the Red Man Show and the Dave Digital Show and the Tex-Mex Biomex Show and the Dark Crash Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got a great show lined up for you today. What are we going to be talking about? I'm going to tell you this. Is the Bitcoin bear market over? And there goes my screen. Is it over? I got some thoughts on this. We'll see. We'll talk about it as a team and get into it. But we're also going to be talking about this Bitwise ETF for Hyperliquid. Where's Andy? Andy, this ETF for Hyperliquid, it's a big shakeup. We're going to be talking about it. And the Google Quantum Breakthrough update. We heard about it a couple of weeks ago. We're going to hear about it a little bit more. We're going to be talking about the Bitcoin conference as well. Justin Sun's $11 million freeze on his World Liberty Finance. What is up with that? I thought we were in decentralized crypto, not centralized crypto. We're also going to be talking about the X Games because they're adding crypto. Hong Kong's going crypto. There's all kinds of cool stuff happening in the crypto market. But first, let's get into introducing the team. What is going on, Jimmy Jim? Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. Here, being highly entertained.
That's right.
Everything Tony owns attacking him a few minutes ago. I don't know what. I'm not sure what was going on over there, but it was quite entertaining.
Well, let's say hello to Tony. Where is Tony? Tex-Mex, Biomex, what's going on, brother?
Hola, yeah, I'm all right. I should have had my camera positioned where I wanted it before the show. But anyways, so that was a unique intro. I tried to get it done before the intro was done, but there you go. Yeah, I'm doing good. Good to be with you guys. Look forward to seeing you and doing our live show in Vegas in 2 weeks. We'll have a good time at the conference.
And we have the Red Man. What's going on, Red Man?
Thankful for another day, and I promise. Happy to be here, Billy. Let's go.
And Dave Digital. Good evening, Dave.
What's going on, Billy? You know how we're doing just over here. Got stopped out of a little trade on the Bitcoin, just barely. And then look at it. You guys want to waste all the time talking about stuff, doing stuff and stuff and stuff. And I'm not in this dang trade, but it's going to go right up here to the Reebok where I was expecting it to go. So we'll get into another one. What do they say? On to the next one.
On to the next one. And we have our local chart guy too, Dark Crash. What's going on, Sean?
Not much at all. You can hear me right okay?
Yep. We got you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I just got this new thing behind me, everybody. So now you don't have to continuously stare at my laundry.
There we go. We're moving on up. We're moving on
Yeah.
up in the world. Let's
Yep,
say
yep.
hello to the chat. Let's who's gonna do that? Yeah, I'll just do it, right? I'll just say hello to the chat. What's going on? Our island guy, Johnny December in the house. Stephen Hickey's in the house. Curtis Hill, fam, Andrea Armad, Crux of Cryptos in the house. Crux, I watched one of your videos the other day. Hot stuff, man. Good stuff, brother. Keep on bringing that content, man. It's looking good. Let's see who else we got. Melissa, our neighbor. Hello, Melissa. Jesse, of course, is always here. First one in the chat, or did he remove it? Let's see. Did he remove it?
Definitely funniest comment goes to
Oh,
Andy
yeah.
that says, Jesse, you delete that comment now because I want to be first.
Right. That's what I was checking to see if he removed it. So,
And then I deleted the first comment by Jesse, so she could be first.
oh, Tex-Mex did it for Andy. See? So there you go. Now you know who did it, Jesse. Now you know who did it. And we got Flat Smack. Yeah, Flat Smack, that like button. What's going on, Flat Smack? Good to see you, man. We appreciate you always floating around the crypto space and the cryptoverse. We appreciate that. Let's get right into our first segment with the
See
crypto
Curtis and Steve?
bubbles.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
are
I
you
just
doing,
was
Dave?
saying hi to Curtis and Steve.
Oh, okay.
Yep, yep.
You ready, Red Man, for the bubbles?
Let's go.
We love you, fam.
All right. Pop me up there if you can, sir. Thank you so much. All right. We got the crypto bubbles in the hourly. Wow. What is this? Rave. Rave is on a rave. Rave is up 2,000% for the month. Where did this thing come from? It's up 265 spots, number 53. You heard it first on the Billy Goat Tales Network. Market cap 1.33 billion, $5.35 already. Wow. All the way from 22 cents. This thing is rocking. It's rolling, and it's on Ethereum. All right, let's go on. Let's go to Morpho. Morpho is another one, another good DeFi, base play. It's up 2.2%. It's up 17% for the week. It's up 66% of the year. I think it's beating Bitcoin. Let's see. It's up to rank 61, $948 million market cap, $1.71. I remember when this thing was like $1.08. Those days are long gone. All right, let's go on to Aave. Aave, I love Aave. Aave is up 1.1% in the hourly, sitting at $91, $91.58. Sitting at rank number 50. Will DeFi come back? Because it's down 38% for the year. Wow, it's down 10 spots, number 50 on the year. That's Aave. Let's go on to the daily. Daily, we got a bunch of recovery to do in the daily. Looks like we had a fun Thursday, Friday, and we're trying to recover now. Obviously, Rave is kicking butt. Whatever Rave is on right now, some super steroids or something, but it is kicking butt. Everything else pretty much red for the daily. Let's go on to the weekly. For the weekly, we got Dash up 40%. Dash is up almost 100% for the year. Good for the Dash people. If you invested in Dash, congratulations. It's up 10 spots, number 85, $529 million market cap, $42 gets you one Dash token. Congratulations to the Dash people. Siren, we don't talk about rugs here on this Billy Goat Tales channel. Zcash is up 52.2% for the week. It's up 7 spots, number 17. We got a little resurgence in privacy coins. It's up to $6 billion market cap, $364 gets you one Zcash token. Let's go on to the monthly. Monthly got a mixed bag of red and green. Obviously, this big honking bubble right here in the middle, Rave, you can't get past that puppy. But let's see what else we got here. We got FET. FET's up 32% for the month. AI coin still kicking butt. It's up 12 spots, number 84, $533 million market cap, 23 cents gets you one FET token. Been around for a long time. VVV. Here we go. This is Venice, up 13 spots. Finally cracked the top 100. $368 million market cap. $8.10 gets you one Venice token. It's up 243% for the year, up 293 spots to 100. Congratulations to the Venice token and the Venice people out there. Let's go on to the yearly. The yearly is pretty much the same as last week. Yearly hype token. Hey, look, the hype train is moving. If you ask Andy, she's in love with this project, and I can see why. The hype train is moving people. It's up 12 spots. Number 11, $9.79 billion market cap. $41 gets you one hype token. It looks like it went down a little bit in the daily, but this weekly and this monthly and yearly are green, full steam ahead on the hype train. And that's pretty much all I got for you, Billy.
Yeah, brother. Great job. Great job. Well, let's keep it rolling. Let's go right in to the coin market cap. Let's look at that. Tony, are you ready?
Let's go.
We love you,
All right, Billy Goats. Let's put this coin market cap screen up like it's the ultimate family barbecue dashboard. Everything's cooking, but we're not sure if it's prime rib or just hot takes today. So the coin market cap is flexing at a hard 2.42 trillion, up a solid 2.63% today. That's the whole crypto zoo waking up and doing a group pump like everyone, chugging the same institutional espresso shot, right? Right behind it is the CMC 20 right here. We got the CMC 20 index sitting pretty at the 146.57, up 2.25, showing top 20 assets are leading this cautious charge with a bit more pep in their step than the broader market. Then we can check the temperature of the fear and greed index. Last in February 5th, we were at extreme fear of 5. We're up at 44. May 22nd was the last time we were at the highest, which is 76. Yesterday was 50. Last week was 35. So the fear and greed, as you can see on that chart, there has been up and down quite a bit. Neutral territory right now, not scary stiff, not greedy yet. That's just the awkward, I'm optimistic, but let's not tell the wife that we're all in vibe, right? Classic crypto yoga goat pose, stretching, breathing, not quite ready to handstand this full euphoria. All right, and then let's get into some of the top coins. Of course, Bitcoin is still king at 71,356. We did hit that 73,000 this last week. But right now we're up 0.34% on the hour, taking a little bit of a 24-hour breather. Ethereum's grinding at 2,214, and Tether's napping at exactly $1. Well, that's pretty good, right? It's a stable coin. It should stay pretty stable. Solana's bouncing around 82.7. And the crew, XRP, BNB, and Tron are jostling like kids fighting over the last slice of pizza. One meme legend, Dogecoin, of course, our man Elon Musk, holds number 9, barking at the 0.0915 with 14.07 billion market cap. A tiny, greedy, hourly, red daily, but still rocking the resilient Shiba spirit. And crashing the party at number 10, I think it's Andy's favorite, Hyperliquid at 41.12 with a chunky 10.52 billion market cap. This layer 1 DEX beast is dominating perp trades with lightning speed, staking rewards, and real on-chain power. All right, so the bottom line is that the market's cautious bull mode across the board, neutral fear, plenty of room for both institutional and poker players with that rocket-fueled meme staking degen looks as well. All right, well, I think that wraps it up for today's coin market cap. Thanks, gents. And we'll get into the next segment.
Yeah, brother. Awesome. Great update. Let's make sure we say hi to people that just came into the chat. Oh, we got Amy Lives Crypto. Good to see you, Amy. Hope the babies, everybody's doing good over there. Who else did? Oh, I saw Buck come in. Good to see you, Buck. Who else do we got? Anybody else come in between while Tony was doing his update? I think we're good. Oh, I said hi to Flat Smack already. Oh, the real K Dig. What's going on, K Dig? Hats off to you, brother. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in at Billy Goat Tales on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Dave, let's get into...
And Amy Lives Crypto, I see lurking there in the participant.
Well, Amy must not have heard me say that, huh?
Maybe I didn't. I was trying to switch between screens. Sorry about that.
Dave,
Hey,
let's
Dave.
pull up
Hey, what's
our
up, Dave?
first
You
story.
want to do prediction markets? Sure.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
do 'em.
Dave, let's do prediction markets, Dave. Good idea. Dang,
All
you're
right.
good.
We love you,
All right, let's take a look at the Hungary Trump, California Governor Purdue presidential flipping pancakes, eating eggs type of thing. You guys ready? Let's look at it. Let's see what's trending here. There was a couple cool ones. The Masters Championship, Alex O'Crypto. He's going for the old Rory McIlroy. Justin Rose isn't far behind him. Looks like they're minus 11, minus 10 on the strokes. 42% saying that McIlroy will win it again. There's a couple more over here. Let's look at these top movers. Who will headline Coachella? Isn't that wild? Who will headline Coachella? And they say Zach Brown, 89%. Billie Eilish, 78%. Which one do you guys think? I think that's pretty cool. Zach Brown's going to be headlining Coachella, I think. Let me see. There was a couple other ones that I wanted to see. Who will be named the Epstein files released this year? Naomi Campbell, Alec Baldwin. I mean, it's so weird. All these things coming out. Mentions how will Trump reference himself before July? The Gulf of Trump? Is he the Trump Tower? There's a lot of funny ones. Ethereum price before 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, 2440 or 2240 or 2280. They don't know yet. Anyway, that's about all that we have. What will Trump say this week? Will he say predictions? Communist or communism?
China.
No, looks like he'll say prediction or predict. A lot of wild stuff over here, but that's all I have for predictions today, Billy. So back to you.
That's incredible prediction market stuff right there. I don't know how they come up with these things, man. It's like, couldn't Trump just go in there and see and then have his family like put a lot of money on it and then say the word?
It's funny you say that. So there was somebody, I think it was in one of the Fed meetings, that he said, well, the prediction markets want to know if I'm going to say this, so I'm just going to go ahead and say those. And then he went on about his business.
Yeah. It seems
So
just
yeah,
like
they are doing some of that.
if you're that big of a celebrity, or in this case the president, to like have somebody create a prediction based on you could, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, man. You can make it's like that guy that is streaked across the field, right? He somehow, there's a prediction that there'd be a streaker, and he put a lot of money on it. He became the streaker and he won.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, what would stop? I mean, there's one for Bernie Sanders says, what will Bernie say during his NYC rally? Affordable, affordability, or socialist and socialism? So will you just bet the long shot and then just say it? Why wouldn't you? Especially if, I mean, I would. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not unethical. Why wouldn't you?
Right. Crazy. Well, let's get into our first story, Dave Digital.
I think, was it me today, Tony?
I guess it's always
I'm
you.
ready.
Yes,
Right.
sir, it's you.
It's always Dave Digital. The
I'm
real
ready.
question is, our thumbnail, right? Is the Bitcoin bear market finally over? What is that all about? Well, we put that into AI. Tony did say that we reclaimed 73,000, which is part of, kind of an incredible little move there that Bitcoin just reclaimed. We're analyzing that entire thing through AI. So I ran it through AI, fed it all kinds of information based on the halving, based on the cycle times, based on ETF inflows, based on a lot of interesting stuff. And here's what it says. It says basically, based on the current market structure as of April 12th, which was yesterday, the probability that the 55 to 66K range was the crypto bottom or cycle bottom is considered very, very high, but not guaranteed. While the traditional 4-year cycle suggests we should be in a deeper crypto winter, right? So like all the TA basically is saying that we're going to go down. We could pop up to 80, 78, 80. Then we're going to go down and we go back down. That's basically what the TA is saying. But these ETFs inflows are really holding up some support structure that we never see before in crypto. The inflows of the ETFs are a big component of why the AI said, it's a good chance that we've already seen the bottom, but it's not guaranteed. The halving cycle versus the institutional flow cycle is what they're calling it. In previous cycles, Bitcoin's price was largely driven by the 4-year halving of it, which we all know. But halving cycle, a lot of people, I feel like it's right on track. In other words, I feel like the 4-year cycle is doing exactly what we thought it was going to do, because here we are, and Bitcoin was at 126, and now it went all the way down to 60, and we're in the bear market. To me, that's a pretty good sign that the cycle is intact. Like Jimmy said before, it's baked into the code. I don't see it ever really breaking. Just how big is the retracements going to be compared to what they used to be? So the math on this, you feed it into AI. ETFs now move roughly 12x the daily mining supply. ETFs now move roughly 12x the daily mining supply. So that's huge. What's that impact all about? Well, because institutionals buy in such a massive amount of quantities, they absorb the entire daily production of the miners in a single afternoon. This has prevented the typical 80% type of crash, is what AI is saying, that we would normally see. So let's get into it. I know most of us are TA guys. And so it's very difficult, because if we just simply follow the TA, it would absolutely say that we're going to go down further. But now we have this new injection of this new factor, this new indicator, so to speak, which is the ETFs. The amount of money that's coming in from these ETFs, hundreds of millions of dollars that we just didn't have last cycle, that is holding this thing up. And we're going to have some other stories today that are even going to show you when there was massive sell-offs, the ETF purchases still held the price up because of supply. So as of February, the evidence for the soft bottom at 60K is this. As of February, Bitcoin tested that 60K range, that yearly low in February of 2026, but saw aggressive institutional buying that pushed it back towards the 73 where we saw it go to. And the realized price floor is really just the average price at which all Bitcoin was last moved. So that's what they call the realized floor. It's currently sitting around $62,500. So historically, that acts as ultimate support. That's why the AI is saying this. And we could have already been there. Plus Morgan Stanley's ETFs. Don't forget about that, guys. That just happened a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago at the most, with Morgan Stanley opening up their Bitcoin access to over 15,000 financial institutions. So 15,000 advisors, not institutions. So when these guys are going out selling now, effectively selling their wares, hey guys, you traditional boomers, you've heard about Bitcoin. I think you need to be exposed to it. You can be in your 401k now. Are they going out, and are we seeing them now finally, after it's all been approved for months and months, are we seeing that helping those inflows? And there's an argument for it. Now, the counter argument to all of this, guys, we might not be at the bottom, of course. Well, 60K feels like a floor for sure. And to some of us, some veteran traders that we know warned that it could go up and could come back down. It could sweep right back down following the traditional TA. And we just don't know. So I'm going to kick it around the panel. What do you think, Red Man? What's your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, so I 100% agree with you, Billy. The 4-year cycle is still intact, 100%. I mean, when you go from 126K to 58, 59K, I'm sorry. That right there. Now, have we hit a bottom? Is the bottom forming? I don't know if I'm 100% in that camp yet. because the daily spot volume for Bitcoin is only 30 billion. I mean, when now could we go sideways for a little while and then go back up? Absolutely, but I'm thinking fake out to the upside, take all that liquidity, dump, and then we see a bottom somewhere in June or July, and then towards the end of the year we start gaining steam for Bitcoin, because I just feel like this thing is going to be a little longer lived than people think it will be. And the herd is saying bottom, and we're going up from here. And I just don't see that just yet.
What's your thoughts, Jimmy Jim?
I mean, I don't believe the bottom is in. I'll start with that. I think we're one wild tweet, one world event from taking another step down right now. I do think that the timeline has shifted. And that's why I've been cautious. I really haven't done much buying. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at my chart, and we're riding that green line that I drew 2 years ago. And you know, I still think we can catch one of these horizontal lines down here, which is one's in 55. I don't think we'll see the blue one, but you know, this is kind of what I'm waiting for, and we're really close. But I just
Wait a
find
minute.
this
Let-
line.
hold
catching
on,
this
hold on,
line
Jimmy.
is-
Hold on. So you're telling me you drew those spider lines 2 years ago, and that thing is holding on to it just like that?
Yeah, well, this channel got drawn for sure 2 years ago. And then this line probably got drawn somewhere around here. So probably in early 24. I ended up drawing this one out. But before I drew this one out, I drew this bottom one out. And I just found that these trajectories were just really interesting to me. I've had many other spider lines and whatnot, or I should say trend lines, drawn out, but I've cleared them out as things shape up. But you know, I should say this bottom line was drawn at a different time than this top line was drawn. And it was just really interesting to see how far back this channel went, where we really caught it and went through the entire bear market within this channel. And then when we caught it at the bottom, and then we rode it up again, and we're hanging on by a thread, and then we dropped all the way down here, and then we caught this freaking trend line. And that just has blown my mind to see that some stuff that I drew, yes, between a year and 2 years ago, just playing out. I mean, like clockwork. So that's why I think that we're still going to see this yellow, you know, somewhere close to it. And I think personally, you know, if we go back here, we say the top was in 21, you know, or October, November of 21. And then, you know, here was where the bottom hit, this vertical red line. I mean, that was the absolute bottom candle. That was in 22. That was about a year after. So if you come back here and we say top here, 25, October, you know, that puts us October-ish here, but I think it's coming sooner. I think between July, I think we're going to see a bottom. I think it's coming sooner than, you know, November of the following year after the top.
So the Jimmy Jim takeaway is the bottom's not in. but we're going to bottom earlier, and it could be June, July-ish, and then we go. Did I get that right, Jimmy Jim?
I don't know if we go. I think we're gonna, same playbook. I think we're gonna, get that bottom, move sideways some. No different than we did. A little bigger, really see it. I mean, FTX was the thing that really sent it down, right? And then after that, we went sideways for a long freaking time. That's almost a year from the bottom. November of 22, we really didn't start moving. Let's just say it's here. That's January of 23. So actually, it was like 3 months. So I mean, theoretically, you say bottom is going to come in somewhere, July, August. Back over here. Where are we at? May, July. Let's just say we catch this thing. I don't know. I mean, do we move down and do we catch this yellow line? Do we get down there in the good 60 zone? I mean, I think we will. And then from there, then we start kind of moving up at the end of this year. I mean, I think going into 27, we can see upward, trend developing. But that's why I'm sitting back, and I just kind of really want to wait and see. Historically, summers suck. So I mean, let's wait till summer and see what happens. I don't see us making a big move up. So I mean, if I'm missing out, buying at 70 and buying at 80, oh well. I mean, if we're going to do the same things we did last time, I won't even think about it when we're at 200.
Yeah, my range is 55 to 65. It's just a huge. As I pull up my chart, you'll see a big buy zone right there, basically between 55 and 65. So I got orders set for that, and Bitcoin ETF buys set based on that. What's your thoughts on it, Tony? Is the bear market in? Bottom in?
Well, welcome back. Bitcoin's over 70,000, baby. The bear market might be over, or is it just barely hanging on for one of the hibernation trades? That's what I say. Look, veteran trader Peter Brandt says that there's a retest or sweep of the February 60,000K low, maybe even slightly lower, remains possibly in the Q3, Q4 of this year. And of course, he's talking about some of the geopolitical shock, persistent inflation, labor markets, et cetera. But, roughly 70 to 80% probability that 55 to 66K range was the cycle low, thanks to institutional flows, as you pointed out earlier, Billy, fundamentally changing the math. That said, 28% odds on Kalshi and Brandt's retest warns that we can't ignore black swans, size positions accordingly, and dry powder for any sweeps. I think even on Polymarket, there's there's a 62% chance of dipping below 55K still. So, sometimes those, of course, we know those prediction markets can flow and they can be manipulated, but it's just a data point that we can use. And so, I think I said before, maybe jokingly, that I thought 48K, I wasn't using any data to do that. I was just trying to be, funny about it, but realistically, I do think that we're going to hit maybe 55, 60 potentially. And looking at Jimmy's lines, maybe kind of solidifies that for me a little bit more. Not just those lines, but other data and stuff that I've done. And so I think that we still have some lows, but I don't think that we're going to go as low as we've seen, like the 80% drops in previous cycles.
Yeah, we call them spider lines, as a shout out to Crypto Face, who coined those words, spider lines, all around the trading cryptoverse. So, but Jimmy's right. They are just basically trend lines, but Crypto Face called them that years ago, kind of stuck. What's your thoughts on it, Dave Digital? Is the Bitcoin bottom in as a trader? What do you think?
Fundamentally, I think I agree with what Jimmy's saying. The timeline matches up. But there is something interesting, in case you guys have missed it. I want to tell you what Ben Cowan thinks, but first let's have a friendly reminder about the Bitcoin conference.
Wow, look at my clothes. This is amazing.
First day formal is incredible.
Dress to the nines and join the Billy Goat Tales team for first day formal at Bitcoin Las Vegas 2026.
Yeah. And so Ben Cowan, he says he thinks that he was on Scott Melker's show the other day, and he said that he thinks that it's 25% chance that the bottom is in. So I'm not as smart as him. So when it comes to things like this, I just have to rely on people who are way smarter than I am. I mean, Frankie Candles is pretty smart too, and he's saying he's doing what he's calling, what is he coining it? Hashtag bottom watch 2026. So he's at least looking for a bottom. I think a lot of us, like Casper, I think he's wanting to come into the high 30s. I think I can see that on the charts, the high 30s. But I don't know. I think the timeline, October is still intact. Will we go to that bottom in June, July, and then just hang out there until October? I can't predict it, but it's likely if we do things like we've done before.
And Dark Crash, what's your thoughts on it?
I feel very much the same. We're sitting at the bottom of the second hockey stick right there, as I like to refer to it as. And again, about them spider lines, I'm glad to see that more and more people are kind of affirming themselves with those trends. The ones that I've been sitting on in particular may be a little bit older, but they touch very much the same kind of trend areas as you guys are posing. Now, with that little bottom leg that you see right about there. Oh, yeah, thanks for blowing me up there. I'll just get myself out of the way. There we go. Anyways, let's just dive right into the chart here. This is the weekly, and we have kind of crested. We're about to pop over into oversold territory in the RSI and stochastics, but it's just not looking like, based on the storyline here, that we are due for any sort of massive upside, because typically on these legs down, you see about 3 to 5 green days typically in a row, staggered. Here, not so much. It seems a bit more like a flat tire. But we did have at least accumulated 3 green candles so far on the weekly, this one to expire in the next 2.5. But yeah, it's not looking too pretty. We've had a bit of upward volume for quite some time, even if it has shifted all the way down. But like, this has to come back down again at some point. This has to come back down again. Are we going to have an upside down Jesus take the wheel kind of pattern? I would think so. But then again, not much is certain in that respect. But of course, peering at the daily in that channel, in that kind of flatland, the bottom bucket, if you want to call it, this could be the bucket, everybody. Like, this has been an insane accumulation zone for that matter since the 120-ish K top. So would it be time to get in or not time to get in? Again, I can't give you that foresight because, again, I don't know exactly what's going to happen next. This is purely my opinion. But again, it looks more like a bucket, yes, but there's a lot of signs that put it into question, for lack of better words. And I don't think we're out of the woods yet. This looks really heavy, like it's about to just yoink right back down and create that second shoulder like we were about to see on the weekly momentum. But yeah, to cap it all off, again, with the 4 hour, we've got a 1, a 2, and maybe we're about due to come right back down to 6.8. Yeah, somewhere between 6.9 and 6.8, I would figure, is kind of like my next eyeball for a range here.
That VWAP's going up. What is it? That VWAP's going up there. Is the money flow coming out, or is it even? I can't quite see it.
Money flow is relatively even. Let me blow that up. But the thing is, even with something as thick as this, the fact that the RSI and stochastic did break has some warning bells come into play in my mind, because like anytime it does break, it typically requires a bit of a reset before any sort of positive action can happen again.
What's the money flow doing on the monthly?
On the monthly, great question. So right now we are still green, which is fantastic. But again, the lowest point was there at the bottom of the bear market post-COVID, when, of course, we had to flush a lot of that money out with really ridiculously high interest rates. So obviously, once we kind of hit that climax, and we just kind of went right back into the semi-printing phase, and then, of course, wartime era phase, that kind of drew us back into this overblown money flow, which is still kind of continuing into what would otherwise be a bear. But again, we still haven't seen too much momentum to the downside. This could just be a clipping into something major where we see like the next, and I don't have it in front of me, but I think it was an old S&P 500 fractal that more or less points to a super launch, a trajectory of 150K, 250K plus in terms of price projection going forward from this point. But we would have to see some major reversal here because this is just still, even though it's kind of curving just a little bit on the monthly momentum, it's still very sharp to the downside and very thick. So
What
we got a
about the
ways to go.
weekly money flow crash?
Weekly, let's flop over there, still bleeding red, and of course without the stochastics and RSI going into oversold like the previous bear market, we still have a way to go for our reset here. Very much so another Jesus take the wheel pattern like we're seeing on the momentum forming like the last bear run.
Is that money flow coming up there? I can't blow that. Is that still going out, or is it looping up? I can't quite.
It's looping up. It's still red, but it's still looping up just by a hair. It's hard to see, but from my visuals, I can say that it is going up.
And if we look back, traditionally, it just creates a lower low from here, right? And money flow.
It's essentially, yeah. That's what I'm alluding to here, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a 1 hockey stick, 2 hockey stick, and then maybe third time's the charm. But here's the thing. Here's my counter to that. We have 1 move to the upside, 2 move to the upside, 3, and then okay, we have a 4-5. Then we could say this bull bear trend has officially concluded, and we could enter a new trend or a new market for that matter, and we could have already had said reset. I like to point to the 5-point trend, if you want to call it that. So yeah, anything could happen at this point.
If we were just going to look at the weekly money flow, or not money flow, but the weekly momentum there that you had at the bottom, so what we would at least expect, right? We would expect, so we had the first little nipple, then the second little nipple. Now we would expect it to come up. And then if we want it to be bullish, we would expect that nipple to be a little bit higher on that last one, right? The last one over there on the far right, right?
Similar.
And then we would expect price to come way lower than what it was on that nipple that's already formed, right? To give us that narrative. And then to go.
Ideally,
right?
now
That's what we've done almost every time in the past, right?
Exactly. Now we could very well face something where it is in fact a lower low, possibly even on momentum. This one was very low. Let's give it that. But maybe it come lower than this guy over here at the -64 range, because we did have over here kind of like an initiation momentum followed by a wonderful upside down trigger wave, which just shot us into the deep bear and so on. But this one's kind of leaning more like he wants to give a high five with his left hand or something like that. So yeah, I think we're still due for a bleed, but it's got to be, I feel like it's going to be sharp. It's going to be quick. I don't think it's going to be anything drawn out for that matter.
Well, even if we've got a long time. So for us to go to 80, even 102, 105, that's not out of the question. Still before a lower low.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's, we've got this big volume gap here, so it's absolutely possible. But I don't think we'd be breaking the 85 plus range anytime soon. No,
I think if you pulled up a 52 week, you might get us. I don't know where it is now, but I think it's in the 100,000 range. 100,000 is also super psychological. So anything can happen.
Truly. Yeah.
And that would be super painful for a lot of people because everybody would be FOMOing in, and then for the bottom to drop out from 80 to 100,000, that'll knock some people in the face.
Yeah.
From 80 to 100,000?
Yeah, if we get a rally that goes up to 80, 100,000, and then we drop to a new low, like a new low, like 30, 39, something like that. Grandma's done. She don't want to play Bitcoin no more.
I hear that.
I'd watch out on the way up though for resistances around 91, 93, and 97. That would be my.
Oh yeah, any of that, yeah. But that's what happened. And when you get to the 93 zone, you're gonna stop hunt that whole area.
Ideally. Again, not financial advice, everybody.
That's right. Oh, I think I'm froze up, huh?
You're beautiful. You're beautiful in salmon.
I know. Here we go. There we go. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. We're running out of time. Look, we spent 45 minutes on our first topic. We got 10 topics. I don't know how we do this, but we do it. Global tension and market rebounds. Well, we kind of talked a little bit about some of that. Can you blow that up, Dave? Because I lost total contact with my back in plug in here, so I can't see anything.
Let me see.
Billy's back in plug in.
Yeah, my back end plug in. There you go, Jimmy.
Listen,
Click
you're going to have
right.
to take a left at the tabernacle.
Yeah.
Is this what you wanted,
Look
Billy? I'm not
back.
sure exactly what you want.
Now let's go. We kind of talked about all the tension with Bitcoin, which really that's more of go to the next one if you could. I appreciate that. The next topic, which is the hyperliquid. It should have been hyperliquid.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's probably did the hyperliquid not go on there? We got to talk about hyperliquid.
I'm not seeing hyperliquid anymore.
If it doesn't,
I
we'll
got
talk
you.
about it.
Here,
I got
afterwards for
that
Andy.
one right
For
there. It's
Andy.
right here.
Okay. So, look, guys, this is. Let me bring this down on my own side here. So, what's really cool about this, guys, is Andy Armad here. She's been on telling us all hypes, not financial advice. Everybody do your own research, but it is interesting that Bitwise filed its second amendment on its S1 registration for the hyperliquid ETF on April 10th, 2026, adding the ticker BHYP. A 0.67 annual sponsor fee is on that, and a built-in staking mechanism that passes roughly 85% of the rewards through to the shareholders. So here we have an ETF that's launched by Bitwise that is actually allowed to pass staking rewards right on through to the shareholders, which is really cool and huge, different in the first. The filing list New York Stock Exchange, ARCA, as the intended exchange, and which is cool, which is interesting, as the digital asset custodian, and BNY Mellon handling cash custody itself. So if approved, the BHYP would become the first U.S. spot ETF tracking on a pure DeFi protocol token. If you guys know, I mean, this is a DeFi protocol. This is DeFi exchange, hyperliquid, right? So it's not a centralized. So we're having an ETF on a decentralized DeFi protocol, first ever. And I think it's going to have some legs, is my personal opinion, not financial advice. Yes, I do own this token. I bought it 3 or 4 weeks ago, a month ago, whenever Andy talked about it. So I do own it. I'm not. You don't buy it. You don't need to buy it. But I want you to know that I own it. And it's interesting news that that this ETF, if approved, so far Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana, we have those. I'm in some of those as well as far as ETFs. But now we're going to have this DeFi token, BHYP, and it would be the first to wrap a protocol that earns revenue from trading activity and returns it right to the token holders through basically TradFi ETF, right? So very interesting. What's your thoughts on that, Red Man?
Yeah, so pretty impressive, right? Just to give you guys a little deeper dive on this. This amendment is adding Wintermute and Flowdesk. And if you don't know what Wintermute is one of the largest crypto algorithmic, there's that word, algorithmic marker makers on the planet. We all know about remember Luna Classic, right? But I think Hyperliquid probably got this one right. These guys seem legit. Over 1 trillion in cumulative volume. Flowdesk is right behind them, and institutional crypto liquidity. Adding these two is Bitwise saying we are ready for real money. So the humongous part of it, we already know it's going to happen because they've already listed the ticker for it. So since they've listed the ticker, that's pretty bullish for this amendment already. And then going back to Hyperliquid, the protocol controls 50 to 70% of all decentralized perpetuals volume. So that's the running over 40 billion in weekly revenue. It is basically, like Billy said, it's dominating DeFi perps right now. So this is massive. This is a big upgrade because I don't know if I can remember this morning. Do we have an ETF with staking yet, Billy? I think Solana filed for it, didn't they?
Yeah, they filed for it.
But I don't know if they got approved
Yeah,
or
I
not.
don't
But
either.
this looks like it might get approved. So this might be the first one where you can stake and the shareholders can get both price exposure and inside of a regular brokerage account. So that's pretty impressive. That's basically crypto right there for TradFi.
Yep, I'm locked out, so my mouth's probably not moving. But what's your thoughts on this, Jimmy Jim?
Definitely interesting. I think again, I mean, this is more of that adoption that we want, and especially on a decentralized platform. I mean, that's win-win right there. That's good stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And shout out to Andy for busting that open for us. I mean, Hyperliquid had a pretty good run last cycle as a token itself. So I had a lot of fanfare and did fairly well for a lot of people last cycle. So what's your thoughts on it, Tex-Mex, BioMex?
Well, in all seriousness, it is positioning Hyperliquid as the highest earning non-stable coin protocols, which is pretty big, right? It's pure DeFi exposure in ETF form. It's used for institutional capital. Bitwise basically said, hold my hype, and then we'll stake 85% of your rewards back to you. They're getting their Wall Street suit on so they can be there for the Bitcoin first day formal. And, look, with all the staking rewards that could come back after just a small fee, I just think it's a really big exposure and a great thing that we see, protocols and projects really taking the lessons learned from the past mistakes and maybe others' mistakes and trying to find a way forward to bring some validity to the market. And tying in TradFi, I think, is important for the validity of the overall crypto market. There is also a European version live on Deutsche Börse. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I'm sure Jesse or someone else can correct me, but yeah, I'm excited. Hype it up, baby.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Any thoughts on this? Any thoughts on this, Dark Crash?
Yeah, I do have a little bit to put in the pile here. I think this is like, and don't hold me to it, but it feels a bit like the XRP of DeFi, if that makes any sense. Plus, not to mention, they're trying to bridge the gap of the public world and getting out into, or getting all the normal people the access to what would otherwise seem as like unreachable tokens, activities, and so on. Because these tokens, they might seem usable, accessible, but by the end of the day, sometimes you walk away with nothing. And to be brutally honest, I've been a part of the DeFi world. I've utilized these protocols. I have unfortunately walked out the other side with virtually nothing in a few cases. But the thing is, like, this ETF filing makes it a lot more solid, a lot more certain, and kind of gives that warm and welcoming feeling back into DeFi, but at the same time also providing that necessary liquidity for the back end. So I'm excited to see this infrastructure be supported publicly, as well as to continue raging on in the DeFi world. I hope they do well.
I didn't know this, but a few of the articles said that it is the highest earning protocol in crypto outside of stable coins. I think somebody brought that up, but I was like, I didn't realize that. That's pretty impressive. So yeah, anybody else got any comments on the Hyperliquid ETF with staking? Looks like it's moving through.
Yep, just bullish on hype. I've got I'm in a little bit of something on hype. Bought some spot, and then I also did a 3x long a little while back. I think I shared it with most of you guys. If that'll come down. It looks like it doesn't want to, so it's just stuck up in here. Anyway, but we kind of got in from right around that $30 level, and just playing it with like my mouse isn't gonna work. But anyway, yeah, I'm in on hype, and I don't really do anything with any other crap coins, as you guys know. But I like hype. I like Solana. Of course, I like Bitcoin.
Yeah, we just always got to disclose it to our community, like what we're owning, and we don't want anybody to buy anything. Just go do your own research. We don't care. if you buy it or not. We just, the certain ones that we find for our own investment thesis feels right, we're going to do it here at Billy Goat Tales. So everybody's different and everybody plays it differently too. Some of us are traders. Some of us just get in a trade. It doesn't matter what the token name is. Others of us are in it for long-term holds too, like Bitcoin. So we'll see how it goes. With that, let's move on to our next story, which is Google. I'm thinking, Dave, I guess if you could go to that one. That's what I got pulled up. Sorry. Yeah, they're a quantum breakthrough. Because, we heard about this, guys, a couple of weeks ago, right? So the quantum emergency that they were talking about, that whole debate that sparked the latest breakthrough that Google had said, well, I most thought it was like years away. The news is currently trending as a potential threat to Bitcoin's long-term encryption. But the truth of the matter is, there's an update now on this that came out on first on March 31st, and then just recently here in April, that basically says that qubit gap that previously it was believed an attacker would need 10 million qubits to crack the Bitcoin code. Google's new research proves it could be done with just fewer than 500,000. Which we heard that, right? We heard that piece, but then we also heard that while Google has lowered the theoretical bar here, the physical hardware is still catching up. So even though they lowered it to 500,000, the hardware does not exist for this right now. And the whole idea with that was that you can attack with 500 qubits, since it takes Bitcoin 10 minutes to settle out its transaction, its block. 9-minute attack could be a problem for Bitcoin because a lot of things can happen in 9 minutes when it settles out in 10 minutes. But the truth of the matter is there's no hardware out there right now, and there's not going to be for some time, was the update. And so I heard about this and I was like, I don't think we have to worry, and this is my worthless opinion, I don't think we have to worry about this in 2026. However, I do think it's something everyone should keep their eye on. But you still need all parts of this to make it be a problem, which is the software and the hardware. And so we'll keep our eye on this story and see what the next Google update is. But the market isn't panicking about this really, because they need the hardware to catch up and the most advanced chips to be created and released and put out there for purchase. And right now, I guess the fastest one, and Jimmy, you might know more about this than me, but I guess the fastest one right now would be about 105 qubits versus the 500,000 that's needed. So you still got a ways to go with that, and you got a ways to go with the hardware. I just wanted to give a brief update on that, see if anybody's nervous about it, see if anybody's like tracking this. What's your thoughts on this one, Redman?
Yeah, I mean, so this was a big deal until people started figuring out that, Bitcoin, it has time. The devs are already building the solution. If you're on legacy addresses, now's a good time to move to modern Taproot wallets. There's no panic needed. You just need to prepare. Basically that's what you said before, Billy. I guess the real concern would be the 6.9 million Bitcoin sitting in wallets with already exposed public keys. Those people need to really freak out because they probably have a large amount of Bitcoin and it's sitting in old hardware cold wallets. So all I have to do is just upgrade to something new. I mean, Starkware just released a quantum safe Bitcoin wallet. I mean, there you go. Starkware, boom, you're fixed. Just transfer it over. Make sure you check your keys before you do everything. Make sure you check your addresses before you do everything. Cover your butt. That's basically all you got to do.
Well, they obviously Google dropped this quantum bomb, and Bitcoin's encryption could be cracked in 9 minutes. It's time to upgrade or get quantum leaped. all I can say, it makes me think of a certain movie where you know you have the 8-minute abs, and then someone comes up with a groundbreaking 7-minute abs program. So you know, Bitcoin Policy Institute has the timeline is tightening, a possible credible threat by late 2020s. But they're stressing migration should start now for people with the traditional wallets to quantum wallets, and about 10 years for users to move. Those BIP proposals are already in discussion. So yes, the pros are that it's going to force upgrades, long-term security win. The cons are the legacy holders might be exposed if the timeline accelerates. But the red herring for 2026 price action is hardware lag is massive. And but I think we'll get a hold of it. I'm not too concerned. I think the technology to support the back end of Bitcoin through quantum will be just as progressive as the attempt to attack it.
I agree with you there on that one. I'm going to jump right in. I just wanted to say that, with all this fear, again, this drives like liquidity out of other people's wallets. Not to mention, if these people do in fact get tapped for what they have, which is unlikely, then that would open up possible liquidity for these institutions, which are clearly tracking ahead of the trend here. They're working, trying to get these new wallets, new recovery methods set up, and I just see like this as a potential for more and more institutional accumulation as well. This is just the other side of the coin, not necessarily a big red herring that would also potentially drive more volatile price action, but like, yeah, it is incredible though nonetheless to see that we are having more or less a tug of war in terms of trying to keep Bitcoin alive and trying to get into the networks.
Yeah, hard to go inside.
Who's that? Somebody needs to mute.
Is Andy in the background on someone's?
It sounded like Andy, didn't it, in the background?
I thought it did briefly.
Dave Digital's got Andy on speakerphone, I guess. I don't know. There's a dog. Anybody else got it? Jimmy, who did we not go to on this one? Any thoughts on the quantum piece?
Yeah, so I think maybe we're missing the point. We're looking a little bit too far ahead of time. So Google's quantum breakthrough, I don't think is important as what just happened with Anthropic with Mythos. So Mythos, if you guys haven't heard, is finding bugs and creating exploits in 25-year-old software, such as the Linux, and such as all these other things. And it's been released into the safety hands of just a few people, which is like OpenAI and Google and all these, and Microsoft and all these other people that I'm just saying these guys have it first. And I think we might have something else to worry about other than quantum. This is the most powerful AI that's been released yet, and it's not even released, but created. And if Anthropic has created it, that means China's not far behind.
Well, that's a very interesting comment, Dave, because yeah, I mean, we're talking about quantum and this AI piece. You don't know I don't know what's going to happen with it. We don't know what's going to happen with it. So we'll see how that goes. Any thoughts, Jimmy Jim? Whole quantum piece.
I mean, I think we've known this for a while. I mean, it's a good story piece, right? To put out there. Hey, they achieved this. Well, yeah, we still got a few light years to travel before we get there.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, and chat's all over this. So I'm reading your guys' comments. Yeah, Mr. Market. Hey, good to see you, Mr. Market. Thanks for joining us. Let's just jump in the chat and say hi to everybody that we maybe missed as we've been chatting along here. See your comments, Andy. Yep. Shuby, we got Shuby in the house. We got All Set in the house. Good to see you guys.
We love you, Sam.
Let's see. Oh, Retro Mike, RMT. Good to see you, Retro Mike. Good to see you. Saw Buck earlier. Shuby says givers gain. Amen. Appreciate that. Yeah, guys. Hope I said hello. Hope we said hello to everyone. If we missed somebody will repeat it. Randy, good to see you. Good to see you, Randy. Thanks for stopping in. The Billy Goat Tales on a Sunday afternoon. You can be anywhere, but you're right here. We appreciate you. Let's move on to the Justin Sun story, Dave Digital. Maybe we'll have room to get through all of these before the end of the show. This is kind of interesting, guys. So this story to me is one of the best stories that we have today. the reason I feel that way is because the World Liberty Token, which we know is backed by the Trump family, I did not know, and I don't think it was disclosed, that part of the smart contract allows them to lock out potential people at their will. So it's not decentralized, it's centralized from a standpoint, just like we're worried about the CBDCs, that their protocol flagged Justin Sun's $11 million trade that he was going to execute, which was a sell. It appears that it was going to be a sell. And so the protocol flagged it and they froze it. So now that would have been devastating to the price point of, apparently, allegedly, to the price point of World Liberty token. But I'm in the camp that it's my money. If I want to sell it, I should be able to sell it. If you walk through this from a fiat standpoint, if I went to the bank and I tried to take out $11 million, they wouldn't let me, right? Because there's a process. That's too much money. If I wanted to wire $11 million and it was in my account and everything, then I could do that. And it would take it takes some days, but it's your money. You would be able to wire it. If I wanted to just come up and take $11 million in cash, that's a whole process because it's over the $10,000 and you have to order that money and but it's your money. You would ultimately be able to do what you needed to do. Now, with smart contracts, with crypto, these guys can just say, no, you're going to hurt our project, so we're not going to let you trade that token, sell that token. That is, for me, and this is just my wordless opinion, that is a no-go for me. Like, that isn't what crypto is all about. That isn't what decentralization is all about. And even though Justin Sun has a lot of, I'm going to say just baggage hanging out there up regarding himself, very, very involved in crypto, is one of the largest crypto holders. He owns thousands of Bitcoin. He owns the exchange. And maybe he bought World Liberty Finance to kind of get his charges reduced. He still ended up paying $10 million, but $10 million to those guys is like me paying $100. And maybe he did it for political reasons, and who knows? We're not behind that wall. We don't really know. We're speculating, right? But I don't like this. My personal opinion is I do not like this whatsoever. I think a woman should be able to invest in something. If you want to take a loss and sell it, take a loss. If you want to take your gains, take your gains. The protocol itself should not be able to shut you down like that. That's just my opinion. What's your opinion on this one, Redman?
Yeah, so Justin Sun, man, he's been involved in countless, controversial problems in cryptos over the years. So this doesn't really surprise me that he's involved with this one. I understand from the Trump side, they have to build safeguards in place. They have a lot to protect because they have a lot to lose, and they understand that they do have a big bullseye on their back and they are being hunted. And I get that part, but what I don't get is the part where they're preventing people from selling their stake. And Justin Sun would have realized this if he would have read the, like we were talking about before, Billy, if he would have read the white paper, if he would have read, the contract, then he could have found out that, hey, there might be a chance where I might not be able to sell. The other part of this is very interesting. And this is the part that really is going to screw both sides big time. And the project made it worse because WLFi deposited billions of their own tokens as collateral on the Dolomite lending protocol to borrow approximately $75 million in stablecoins. Now, that being said, if the price of WLFi, World Liberty Fi, falls enough, guess what happens? it gets liquidated. Poof, gone in a thin air is the World Liberty Fi token. Didn't think this one out too clearly, but hey, here we are in crypto. It's the Wild West, and we're just gonna do whatever it is we want to do. I'll tell you what, when you make moves like this, it will come back to bite you in the butt, and this has a very good chance of happening.
Yeah. I don't like it. But I get it. The target and everything, but man, that's not good. What's your thoughts on this one, Jimmy Jim?
I mean, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I mean, if there's some activity that perform that could be detrimental to the ecosystem that I'm invested in, and there's safeguards against that, I mean, it's kind of hard to be mad at that, right?
But just selling is the activity. Like, you as a holder, just selling is an activity. It's not.
I'd be willing to bet that there was something more to it than just a sell.
Well,
like maybe they knew where addresses were. There was, I don't know, man. I mean,
yeah, maybe that'll come out. But the way it read was, it was loaded up to sell $11 million, and they stopped it. Now, yeah, if there's another part to the story that we don't know yet, or maybe it's developing in the last several hours that it's already posted out there that we don't know, that it was going to some black site that was funding Iran or something, okay, all right. But it made it sound like it was just like, it's a big amount. It will hurt the token price. So we're going to stop it. And I'm saying, if that is the facts, if those were the facts, then I got a problem with that. If those were the facts, because that's just a buy sell. Like, man, you shouldn't be able to stop me from buying or selling, whether I'm in profit or loss. That's restriction that it's just not the ethos of crypto.
It seems really out of place, especially considering, we're supposed to have the free will and ability to move and transmit funds and also communicate and so on and so forth. But now we're just stuck with the fact that even though we've got these private entities claiming to enter the DeFi realm and crypto and so on, they're still trying to put these little underpinnings, these back doors and these traps that more or less just centralize everything. And I can see why. I can completely understand. But the thing is, if you're going to go for the ethos and the mission, you better walk the walk. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I don't know, to Jimmy's point, like, is there more information that's nefarious, just behavior, is there's, I didn't see anything there, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And maybe, they have more visibility than we do, for sure.
You got to lift the button to see what's underneath.
That's right. What's your thoughts, Tony?
Well, my thoughts. All I can think about when Red says Dolomite is Eddie Murphy's character. But so when your bags get frozen harder than Dolomite's pimp cane in a snowstorm, that's a cold wallet, baby. So Justin's son watching his $11 million World Liberty Financial get frozen. Yeah, baby. That's one cold wallet. International Man of Mystery meets International Man of Blacklist. So, guys, I got to run. It's been fun, and I wanted to say that little quip before I left, but do your own research. We're not financial advisors. Givers gain. See you next time. This is Tony signing off. Stack responsibly, take profits, stay nimble, and never marry your bags. Adios, guys. It's been fun. Thanks for letting me join in today.
Tony, just want to say, love your new glasses.
Thank you.
Are you filming us?
I just took a picture. I did a little bit of filming behind the scenes earlier. So, look, I'm going to do it. So I did a little bit of filming behind the scenes so people can see some of the stuff that we do here. I'll look at the videos, see if they're appropriate to share, but maybe we'll do some of that behind the scenes type stuff sometime that we share from my new Meta glasses. My first time wearing glasses in almost 50 years. So I'm getting used to just even wearing glasses in general. They are prescription. They're not just for fun.
All right, brother.
Getting old. Not as old as you. Love y'all. See you later.
See you, man. Thank you. Dave, you got anything on this before we move on? You're muted. Your lips
Yep, Justin
moved.
Sun is a pioneer in the space. He's definitely one of the movers. You know, a lot of respect for him. I know that a lot of times at the top, there's things that happen that we don't have all the details for, you know. And so I'm not necessarily going to judge. Do I think that if you're talking DeFi, right, decentralized finance, do I think that they should be able to turn it on and off? No. You know, I think it should be decentralized. And I think that it should be open for everybody to use. It should be trustless. It should be permissionless. You know, I don't think that if it's DeFi, then anybody should be able to turn it on and off.
Yeah. And we'll see how it unfolds, right? Because right now it just seems a bit odd. So very interesting story. Wanted to make sure we talked about it right here on Billy Goat Tales, where you get all your crypto news, updates, live and in person. Let's move on to.
We do have, Billy, just one
Yes.
message to our family out in the community.
Yeah.
We appreciate you for what you do. Thank you. Without you, this world would not be the same. When life gives you a break, your Billy Goat Tales family will be waiting.
I love this show.
Givers Gain.
Look at the little goat. Billy Goat Tales is starting. Yay, Billy Goat Tales.
You know, that makes me think about our children's books that we've been writing. So we do have our third children's book that Jimmy Jim has written. We're going to be talking about it here in the next 3 or 4 weeks. But when I see that commercial, it just makes me think not only about our crypto fam, but about their fam, their kids, their grandkids, and what we're doing in the crypto space to help keep those kids safe.
You mean this book, Billy?
Hi, Billy Goat Tales family.
Are you ready for a blockchain story with bits and blocks? Coming soon!
There it is.
That's the one.
We
Coming
can't wait
soon.
we can't wait to discuss everything we're going to do with that book. And
Now, of course, we don't want anybody to go on Amazon and go searching for it and try to buy it early before the launch, okay?
And of course, Miss Teen Crypto will be reading that book this year, Christmas Eve, which will be our third Christmas Eve, reading one of the Billy Goat Tales children's books. And the next one is going to be Tex-Mex Biomex books, which, guys, it's already, we got it in the chute. So just going to get through this year, and we'll do the next one. And it sounds like Crash wants to jump in on the action as well, so that'll be cool. Definitely going to have 5 books. We might end up having 6 total, so that'd be awesome. All right, guys, with that, let's move on to the X Games because they go crypto. They're going crypto, which is very interesting. Just another form of the adoption, guys. I mean, it's like for us, we don't always pay attention to, like, if it's not the NFL or NBA or, in the United States, it's we don't always hear about it, but their whole move is to capture Gen Alpha energy. That's what they're trying to do. And the X Games just signed a major deal with MoonPay. This really highlights how extreme sports and crypto are emerging to target a younger, tech-savvy audience. And they're doing it. And it's happening right underneath our feet, guys. This is all the adoption that we've been asking for and wanting, and we're seeing it live happen. You got to be excited about what's going on in the crypto space right now. The X Games has undergone a massive rebranding and structural shift by partnering with MoonPay to launch that MoonPay X Games League, the XGL. This multi-year deal transactions, it's going to be huge for the X Games from all kinds of standpoints. You can't even go through them all because they're blockbuster deals, and it's just going to help the crypto adoption occur. Say that 3 times fast, Dave. Adoption occur.
3 times fast.
There you go. But anyways, I love this because, the XGL is a co-ed team, and it's a team-based league for inaugural teams representing Los Angeles. It's New York, Los Angeles, Tokyo, and another Sao Paulo. Yeah. They compensate their athletes, so they're paying them. They're moving away from prize money only model, and the league provides athletes with base salaries, health insurance, all that stuff, stipends, travel, stuff like that. But they're also paying in crypto. So it's like, this is true. Like, you're being paid in crypto, directly in stable coins. So for the entire draft class. So I love that. I think it's just another great form of adoption. We don't hear always a lot about this kind of stuff, but it's out there, and I thought I would bring it up today. What's your thoughts on that, Red Man?
Yeah, the most involvement I think I have right now with Web3 is probably the Billy Goat Tales Income Island build. So, I don't really have very much involved. And MoonPay has never really been, it's never been an option for me because their fees have always been really high. But I get what they're trying to do here. They're trying to target Gen Alpha. They're targeting the future. And this is actually a pretty big deal because this is like a cultural signal of these companies that haven't had anything to do with crypto now getting into crypto. Love to see it. Never messed with it. That's great. I think it's outstanding. But me personally, no, I have no experience with it.
Yeah, man. Any thoughts on that, Jimmy Jim?
Hey, Billy.
What's that?
Oh, sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
You just called me a goat head?
Yeah, Billy Goat Head. Anyway, yeah, what I was just going to say is MoonPay is making moves. So it's been there quietly. If you guys remember, it's always been in the background. Whenever you started, like one of the, when MEXC was new, or when some of these exchanges were new and you were trying out new exchanges, a lot of times the way that you on-ramped with a credit card was MoonPay. And so they've been in the background for a long time. And then now we also heard them just recently, now they're allowing you to off-ramp. So that's a huge thing for MoonPay, and now they're starting to go out into the masses and get sponsorships and partner up with people. So I think MoonPay might be something that's next on our radar, much as Kraken was, much as Crypto.com was, and just like Coinbase. Remember, first movers aren't always the ones that are the big players. Again, Google as an example. Whenever we had Ask Jeeves and all these other different ways to access the internet and search engines, there might be some competition brewing here.
Could be.
Completely agree with you, Dave. Video game competitions have already been rewarding people in Bitcoin, and it's funny enough that actually, I can't remember the exact esports, but I think it was 10 Bitcoin for like last place, and then in today's money that would be worth about I think 10 or 14 million. I forget the exact number. From what the guy was able to do with it. But as far as I know, it's just it's crazy to think that all these competitions are finally catching on. It's about time that we deviate from standard cash prizes, material based prizes, cars, trips, that kind of thing, and to get into something new and exciting. And this will bring, again, that A word, adoption, that we're hoping to bring to everybody. Put a Bitcoin wallet in everybody's pocket or in their computer, their phone, so on. So this is great. I love that it's being made more mainstream and brought across more media channels. This is perfect. It's exactly what we need.
Yep. Agreed. Jimmy, did you get in on this one? Sorry, man. Can't remember.
It's an interesting partnership. They're definitely targeting a specific demographic, going after X Games. I don't know. Maybe it's going to become the Bitcoin Cash run.
Could be. Who knows, right? MoonPay, like Red, I think Red said, I had to use MoonPay at different times for different transactions. It was just the simplest. It's like one of the first ways to connect to a credit card and get things done. So, but it's not the pure crypto play, right? Crypto to crypto, so a wallet to wallet. But hey, it bridged the gap when needed at different times for me. So got nothing against it. Glad they're keeping their name out there, building brand, and doing it in the crypto space. That's what I'm looking at. Let's move on to the Hong Kong first stablecoin license. Another great story. Let me hold on one second, guys. I froze up. Okay.
Oh, if I
So,
can get to it before you unfreeze, Billy, I'm working on there.
oh, there you go. Yeah. Now I'm freezing up again because I take it off my, yeah. I don't know why my system's glitching, guys. My system's just glitching. But anyways, Hong Kong first stablecoin license. Hong Kong officially granted its first stablecoin issuer license within the last 24 hours. This is news, brand new. This is a massive geopolitical shift as the region races to become the world's premier digital asset hub. You guys got to understand, there's a lot going on with Hong Kong, right? I mean, think about all the geopolitical stuff that's going on, and in the midst of all of this, they're moving towards Bitcoin, or at least a stable coin, not Bitcoin, a stable coin. So stables are here to stay, and as you guys know, last year the biggest category, the growth category, was stables. So there's a lot of new stables that are out there. We don't even know them all. A lot of us probably never even used them. We know USDT, we know USDC, we know a lot of the USD1, but there's a lot more. We researched it on Billy Goat Tales, I don't know, a few months back, and found out there's just all kinds of stables that have been launched by different countries, different groups of countries, as well as different cities and states and things are trying to launch their stable coins. So very interesting. Here we go. Hong Kong is taking a lead on this. What's your thoughts on this one, Redman?
Yeah, I think it's great for Hong Kong. Beijing gets to sit out. They can't do anything because China, banned crypto entirely. It says the winners, HSBC. That's a big bank, right, Billy? HSBC, pretty big one.
Yeah.
One of Hong Kong's 3 note issuing banks, the same institution that already prints physical HKD banknotes. I don't know what that is, but I'm sure you guys do. Anchor Point Financial, a joint venture led by Standard Chartered, but also including Animoca Brands. Animoca Brands. That sounds really familiar. One of crypto's biggest gaming and NFT players, and HKT, Hong Kong's major telecom company. Wow. Yeah, a lot of vowels in that sentence, but my goodness, yeah. So yeah, anything stablecoin related. Obviously, these people are trying to corner a piece of the market. They know it's going to be humongous. But if I cut anybody off, I'm sorry. I know, Billy, you were trying to.
Oh, no, you didn't cut me off. Animoca's huge. Animoca's huge. Game developer. There we go. Yeah, cut that
So
real
loud
quick
in my
so we
earphone.
don't get shut down for using licensed music. But yeah, I just found it interesting from China's standpoint too. It's like, man, they ban, then they come back. They ban, they come back. It's like they just like at one point in time, and I bet you Buck knows this or RMT knows this better than I do. Like, didn't they have the most miners in the world at one point in time over there in China? Wasn't at one point in time, wasn't they the biggest?
Yeah,
miner?
they were annihilating us in hash, and then we came back because China kept on banning and then approving and then banning and then approving, and it's just back and forth deal. So they lost a lot, and meanwhile we were just growing and growing and growing in hash. And I think now, yeah, we're number 1 by far now.
Yeah, and Animoca, I'm pretty sure, is the developers of the Sandbox and OpenSea, or at least they're investors and all. They have all the big ones.
Yeah, they're VCs.
They're VCs, yeah. So that's very interesting. You brought that piece up to it, Redman. So yeah, thank you. What's your thoughts on it, Dave?
I was actually looking at Bitcoin dumping. But
I
let's
wish I
get
had
back
that.
over there. Hong
I
Kong
wish
and
I
the
had
stable
that
coins. Yeah.
cricket. I wish I had that cricket written like.
You didn't have enough time, Billy.
I know.
But yeah, for the Hong Kong, it's similar. Here's what I think is going on. So we hear all these people, Montana, and all these people starting to develop their own stable coins. If you remember, this is the same thing if for any retailer that started to use gift cards. So if you start to use gift cards, there's a certain percentage of those gift cards that'll never be used. So initially, your sales go way up, and that portion is never ever actually sold in material. So it's just money that you get for free. I think that's what they're starting to do here. I think a lot of these people are opening up these stable coins really early so that people buy them up and then they forget about the wallet or lose the wallet. And then so they naturally get that shrinkage, or they get the capital inflow without having to give any product back out. That's what I think secretly happened in the background.
Crash, any thoughts?
Well, it's all centralization. I feel like it's just a wild pony that they can't seem to tame. Every time they let it out of the pen and then it goes running around, they just can't seem to get the saddle on her and to get her going so that they can ride. But the thing is, that's why they want to have this whole stable coin of their own. It's going to be like CBDC on steroids, to the point where if you're operating any sort of crypto, and again, this is where they're probably going to ban it another 10, 100 times, but if they're operating and a citizen says, I want to sell Bitcoin today, then they're going to have to sell it off to their stable coin, and it's going to have to go through regulation, be taxed, and however way they do it there. They're just trying to create a single pipeline for all this activity. And right now, again, it's like trying to rein in a wild horse and get the saddle on, as from my perspective of what's going on with China, especially their stablecoin adoption in Hong Kong. And now, again, just a quick relation to Canada, we do have some stablecoin regulation coming out here as well, so that's exciting to say the least. I mean, it's coming. Everyone wants some sort of something to lean on. All these nation states, they want something to lean on.
Right. That's right. Hey, we have Green Day Profits, our commissioner, in the house. Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in on Sunday with two Billy Goat Tales. We got Crux back in here chatting it up. We appreciate you, Crux of Crypto. Everybody make sure they check out Crux's content. Curtis is in here as well. Buck, are you sticking up for me right here with this comment? Don't pick on Grandpa. Appreciate that. Going back to Andy's comment, I think she's talking about back when we were talking about World Liberty Finance. You don't think there should be an emergency kill switch if a random hacker could just take away the entire... Oh, that's Dave Digital.
I sure don't. No, I don't think there should be emergency kill switch. If somebody figures it out, then it was not solid in the first place. So if it's breakable to fully broken, then it's fully broken. Go build another one. You failed.
Oh, that's going to be... Clip it, Jimmy. Clip that. Epic fail. She's gonna definitely fire back. There's Buck. Buck's with you, Dave. He's with you there. Crux says no kill switches. Dave, let's do a poll. We got the new poll. If you hit widgets,
Wow, set that up. Let's take a break and hear from the Simple Terms podcast.
Join us Saturdays live for the Simple Terms podcast.
A new type of interactive live show where you join in to break down complex topics in simple terms.
Join our human and AI host this Saturday on the @BillyGoatTales YouTube channel.
There you go, guys. Poll is live. Crypto Billy, what you got there?
Should there be a kill switch? You guys go ahead and vote on that poll. Let us know what you think. We'll see how it goes. My vote. That's a tough one. It's like best ethos to crypto. The answer would be no kill switch. If you had a if it was truly some sort of scam, just like in banking, they have protections in place to make sure you don't lose your money. And so what is a kill? It gets in that gray area. Should there be some technology in there that protects true hacks, true viruses for you. I wouldn't be opposed to that necessarily, but there is a limit there that goes too far. So that's a tough one. I should have put yes, no, maybe. So I'm gonna think about that. I need to put on my thinking cap on that one before I vote. I gotta think through that a little bit. We're 50-50 right now. So you guys make sure you vote. Go in there and vote. In the meantime, let's move on to the SEC rule clarification, because this is a little bit of an update too, right here on Billy Goat Tales. If you want to pull that up, Dave Digital, SEC clarity backlash. So, the SEC released their statement. Let me see if I can get over there. Clarifying the crypto rules, which we brought that up on Billy Goat Tales. But the industry is already pushing back on it. We're hearing about the interpretation is not an endpoint type of thing. And this is really setting up the stage for like the whole Clarity Act and the prime political war with big banks and everything else. But the SEC just released the fiscal year 2025 enforcement results, which confirms that the agency has officially moved away from the regulation by enforcement era, the Gary Gensler era. And I'm happy, and we should all be happy for that. So a lot of these companies just got slammed with, because it was so much basically about regulation by enforcement. There was no regulation, but as soon as you did something and they looked at it and said, oh yeah, that's illegal, or, that doesn't fly. Well, then people invested millions to build things, protocols, systems, processes, companies. And then suddenly they found that it was illegal, right? So they're going to be prioritizing fraud over registration. The Division of Enforcement explicitly stated they are now prioritizing cases involving the direct investor harm. So you got to like fraud and manipulation rather than purely technical regulation failures. And they admitted in this brief that there's a lot of misinterpretation that was going on. The SEC actually noted that several previous cases, including 7 different firm registrations that they were seeking action against, be released because there was no clear regulation. So these people didn't even know. So they're changing the policy. We've known they changed the policy, but this update was just April 7th on the release of this brief that basically says that they're going to change the error, right? They're not going to do this anymore. They're going to focus on fraud. They're not going to just focus on, going after people because there was no regulation in place. They're going to go after true scammers and fraudsters and all that like Gary Gensler that we've heard over there in Miss Ting Cryptos, fraudsters. How's that go, Dave? You said that before.
Hucksters, fraudsters, scam artists.
Yeah. And yeah, that exists. But hey, man, if you don't have any guardrails in place and you can't just have all these companies and people invest all this structure, build out a company, and then all of a sudden you say, oh, that's illegal. That's no level playing field in my personal opinion. But what's your thoughts on it, Redman?
Let me unmute myself here. Chairman Atkins said it best himself. Our interpretation is not an endpoint as much as a foundation. So they're more focused now on building and helping the crypto ecosystem to thrive rather than trying to knock people down and take their money, because that's all Gary gets. And where is Gary? Have you guys seen Gary in the chat? I haven't seen him in the chat in a while now. Dude, Gary was my favorite guy. Gary was my favorite guy in the chat. I love seeing Gary Gensler in there. I knew I was going to get funny after funny, and it was amazing. He blew it up for a while, and then he just disappeared like poof. I don't know. If he's out there, Gary, come back, please. We need you in the chat. We love
Something tells me Gary Gensler was Red's alt account.
Good God, dude. Oh my.
Any thoughts on the clarity piece, Jim?
No, I mean, I agree. I mean, I think that we're going to get more favorable, action activity toward crypto for sure over the next few, and that's a good thing. And we'll said it for many years, and now we're getting it that we do need regulation. With regulation will come, insurance, and that's going to bring more adoption, and around we go.
Yep. Let's see what Crux says here. Crux says, I don't mind a kill switch being implemented on anything that isn't money. Peer-to-peer networks, digital money like Bitcoin or Caspa needs to be decentralized. AI like Tau, BitTensor, I don't mind freezing. Gary equals cooked. Yep. And what's RMT says Tau is the compute king. Oh, RMT is liking Tau. Andrea, bring it back to diversity. Either way, there will not be a large adoption without insurance. I just cannot see it happening. Insurance protocols could have prevented all this regulation. Yeah.
Yeah, but insurance just screams insurance fraud to me. I don't know. It's going to be hard. I just feel like they're going to totally take advantage of that part of.
I would agree with Red. If you've ever been on the other side of the insurance on trying to get claims paid side, there's so many rules you don't know about why they're not going to pay your freaking claim, bro. It's horrible. And I just think of insurance, like Red said, as a big old group of fraudsters. And then they mix in with the government. Now you have to have the insurance. I'm not a fan.
You guys vote here. Let's make sure this new kind of poll from StreamYard works. It says type 1 for yes.
I don't see it.
Or 2 for no. So I bet you got to type it. So even the team, let's type.
Oh, we have to type it?
It says type 1 or 2 in chat. So 1 for yes, 2 for no. So everybody hit that and see if it changes the poll. 1 for yes, 2 for no.
That's a horrible poll. You're supposed to be able to just ask a poll. StreamYard needs to catch up.
Well, they just came out with it. Oh, yeah. So it is moving it. So yeah, should there be a kill switch? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Type it in there. Let's see what everybody votes here. Let's get some interaction going here on this poll. It's a new StreamYard feature that we just saw update today. So we're like, let's give it a try. It's not a YouTube poll. It's a StreamYard poll.
So the number 2 or the spelling of 2?
I did both.
1 or 2. Just
and now I'm going to do a couple more.
Number 1 or number 2, the number. So, okay, it is updating live. So that's cool for everybody to see. So it does work.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to, since we're going to have Jimmy Jim's final thoughts, I think we're going to skip the next. Let's go right to the Artemis II lunar flyby, Dave Digital. I want to pull up, let's see, stop sharing. Let me pull up screen share.
Didn't you want to show pictures?
Yeah, I got some here. Share. Boom. Check this out, guys.
Before you can get to it, it's a race. Who's going to get to it first?
I'm already
Who's
there,
gonna...
dude.
Oh, dang it!
And even you hit that for yourself then.
I was just already pushing, and then it was late. I didn't see you. I wanted to get there first.
All right. So, guys, you got the flat Earth people out there. That's why there's a couple of reasons. Number one, this is making history. Back in 1969, we made some moon history, and now here we are, 2026, making some moon history. Very interesting. Yes, I was alive in 1969.
Yeah, but did we? I mean, did we really?
Well, see, there you go. So let's take a look. Let's bring that whole debate up here, Dave. You've got these very good, crystal clear, best pictures we've ever seen of the moon and the whole crew. And
imagine that right when we got AI that can generate images, we get the best we've ever seen.
And Canada was there too.
And you got the flat Earth people says, you know, we're still flat Earth. They're like, we're not even on a globe. We're not even on.
Well, yeah, the Earth is flat. You're just looking at it from the top, Billy.
Is that it? Is
Jeez.
This one here looks like the Starship Enterprise in it. You know, it's like, you know, it's crazy.
If the Earth is flat, where does all the water go? Where does all the water go? If the Earth's flat.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the flat Earth people, but
I'm telling you what, you spend a night on YouTube and you'll start thinking you're a believer.
Well, once
And
it
you have to
once it
pull
runs
yourself
off the
back out.
once it runs off the eastern plane of existence, it just ports over to the western plane and just continues to run down the river.
It teleports, teleports over to the other side.
Look at that.
So, Billy, you think that we're out there doing it again, huh? You think that in the 60s, whenever we couldn't put color on a TV and we couldn't get a remote control without a cable, we flew to space and we were talking to each other and like it was on a cell phone?
yeah, no, I think it happened. That's just my personal opinion. But you know, I think now it's been what 50 years. I mean, it's been a long time. So we have a lot better technology, safer. I think we were a little reckless. I think JFK said we got to go to the moon. I think NASA I think the country, the political, at the time, the patriotism, it was just like, I think we took a lot of made some reckless decisions to get there, but we got there. And I think if you went back and looked at how shoddy that was as far as scary and unsafe, it was probably right up there with, could have been the largest disaster ever at that time. But now this was the first astronauts that were the furthest away from our planet in history, and we're living to see it. I think it's pretty cool. I think there's going to be conspiracy theories out there that none of this happened, and you know, these guys, they weren't up in there. They were in a Hollywood set and they were doing all this stuff and whatever. I'm not a believer of that, but I know if you are a believer of that, God bless you. Doesn't mean I'm right.
I am.
I have no
100%.
idea. Yeah.
I'm 100% they're lying to us and have about everything ever.
You're a believer of that?
I'm a believer that they're liars. And this
Well,
is
yeah,
just
generally
another one of their
speaking,
lies.
but I'm talking about this trip. Do you believe this trip was real or fake?
Nope. I
Elon
don't think
thinks
we
we
can
can go
get
to
there.
Mars.
Nope.
You don't think we can get there?
No.
Elon thinks we can go to Mars.
Let's see what the chat says. Let's see. Put a 1 in the chat if you like to hear Billy say the F word. That is not going to happen, Andy. Heck yeah, Dave. Fired up for the 350 big block, topped off the gas tank like a trip to Walmart. Curtis is all over it.
He's got his own biomix variation.
Banana moon pie. Oh, no.
Agreed.
Banana moon pie. RC Cola, Dow the human race needs. Yep. It would make it.
Yeah.
It would make me. All right. What fuel power or power propelled the first rover in '69?
Right. They just held it had a battery.
It was methane gas.
Oh yeah, because you need a spark with oxygen to fire it off. Sure, that worked.
So you guys really don't think like we went to the moon, huh? In '69?
There's no chance, Billy.
We did. Can confirm.
We went to
I was there.
Zero chance.
I did want to see the American flag on the surface from '69. That would have been cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, why didn't we get to see it? Because
I figured I'd see that. Like, where's the American flag at that we planted back in '69? Shouldn't that still be there?
But I will say one thing: there is no noise in space. So all those afterburners and stuff that you see in the movies, you don't hear that in space.
You sound like you've been there, Red.
No,
you don't even use. I don't think they even use very much propulsion at all in space. I think they just use supposedly the gravity.
You just need momentum. Yeah, you just need momentum. You don't need much.
And propulsion
Momentum work with the
supposedly,
forces around you, and yeah, the sound just falls into a vacuum. If there's nothing for it to bounce off of, then you're not going to hear it.
and
Which
you
is
need
why the
gravity for
astronauts can hear it.
propulsion to work and all this other stuff. And
Yeah,
doesn't make sense.
and adequate life systems to keep them alive.
All right, let's do
Yeah,
a
and
new.
then they just turned around after landing and fully just drove back. With this,
Billy
they didn't
wants
need
to
a
do another
launch
poll.
tower or anything. They just drove right on back. They're like, yeah, we're cool. Let's go home now.
Yeah, but cow farts would work.
I'm going to do a new poll, guys. Did we go to the moon in 1969? And you guys remember, it's one will be yes. 2 will be no. Let's see what everybody says. Create.
You have to spell 2 3 different ways.
Show. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the wrong one.
Ouch.
Hold on.
Hold off on the twos.
Put
and
a
ones,
2
everybody.
in the chat if you are short.
Should start and okay. Put a 1 for yes, 2 for no. Did we go to the moon in 1969? Yes or no?
Chat if you are sure. Dump it.
There you go. There you go, Dave. Well, we got 75%. 80 says yes. 20 says no. Ooh, man, it's dropping. 67 says yes. 33 says no. Did we go to the moon in 1969? What does the chat say? We're at 67% yes, 33 no's. We got some conspiracy theorists in here. Ooh, 50-50 now. 50-50. Oh, 56%. Okay,
They're
here we go.
trolling it. They're trolling it.
You guys trolling this thing? Let's see what you do. Dave's
Look,
trying to.
Dave's spamming it. Dave's spamming the
It's
chat.
not
Here we
changing
go.
anything. It's not changing anything.
He
It
just
doesn't
can't
know-
face the truth.
It doesn't
He
know what
wants
to do, man. It can't keep up that fast.
Well, Jesse can't face the truth either.
I'm telling you guys, we couldn't put color on a TV. You couldn't get the remote control off the wire. You didn't have cellular phones. But we're over here communicating with people on the moon and flying through, what do they call that belt? Come on, guys.
Does
Come
it show
on.
how?
We couldn't even
Does it
get
show how
5
many
miles
votes?
to a gallon on a Chevrolet engine. But we're
Does
flying
it
to
show
the
how
moon.
many votes, Philly? How many votes? we
No,
have?
it just says just. I mean, we just see the percentage. If you guys go over, I mean, let me see if I go actually to.
Tony's super spam in the chat right now.
Did we go to the moon?
Damn, somebody put Tony in a timeout.
I don't think it's
I
counting.
can't. It's
I don't
moving too quick.
I don't think it's counting if you vote more than
Come on,
once. Let
bro.
me see if it says. I don't
It might
think
count
it's.
if you switch between 1 and 2, but you only get 1 vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
So-
Tony, you're a silly goose.
Yeah,
It's
I'm telling you,
close.
bro.
It's 55% yes, 45% no.
The yeses win.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm a believer. Did we hack the system? I don't know what you're talking about, Buck. I must be coming in late on something here. Did we hack
He's talking
the
about
system?
spam in the chat. Did
Oh,
spam in
yeah,
the chat
yeah,
hack
we
the system?
hacked the system. I think we stuck it. We stuck it, Buck. All right, guys. We're to that space and that place in our show where we talk with Jimmy Jim and have Jimmy Jim do his final thoughts. He's been gone for a couple weeks. So we got to catch up what's going on over there at Space City Breaks. You ready, Jimmy Jim?
Well,
Let's do it.
right before we go to Jimmy, we have one more message for the audience.
Why did the otter cross the road? to get to the otter side. Okay, now my turn. Why did the goat put open club in the chat? Because they want to dance. Woo! That's what I'm talking about.
Cards and Legos and cards. What is a handsome man like me supposed to do?
I don't even have any cool cards to show because before the stream went live, Taco showed up and hauled off all the good stuff I had in here and took it to a card show. But he did bring me back.
Whoa.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's some cheddar.
And just imagine the party didn't give to you. The party kept, Jimmy.
That's not bad.
Are you
for
gonna
sitting here and talking with you guys for a couple hours?
Are you going to do a break on those? How do we get in on this break? I want a couple of those blue ones.
That'll fund the next wave of cards coming out this week. Because this little business eats a lot of cash.
Yeah, man.
So, what's your next show, Jimmy?
We will be back live this week on Thursday. And then we're not live Friday or Saturday this week. We were supposed to be, but we swapped off weekend, so Taco's not going to be around. He is going to the University of Texas orange-white game or whatever they call it. But we might be able to go Saturday night. I think he's getting back early enough to where we can go. But it's a lot of fun. Stop in. We're always doing giveaways. We've been doing a lot of Blez pack giveaways. $49, $79 packs turning into $200, $300, $400 cards. And then buybacks right there on the spot. You earn nothing into $300 or $400. We had it happen the other night.
Yeah. Johnny says, Andrea, just if you have free time, look at arguments why people say no, we didn't. There are a lot of questions that cannot be answered to my satisfaction.
Yeah. And Joe Rogan's like talked to every expert ever. And he don't believe we made it.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those rabbit holes I've never went down to. Johnny's point there. If you go in, spend some time and research it all, maybe you come up with a different conclusion. I don't know. I think on this trip here, I think it was real for sure as well.
How did we get through the Van Allen belt, Billy?
The asteroid belt is beyond the distance between the Earth and the moon. What belt? I don't know what belt you're talking about. Well, the only belt that I know of that's out there is the asteroid belt, which is beyond the distance between the Earth and the moon. It's clear between the Earth and the moon. It's beyond that. You get into space stuff that I'm no expert by any means, but you know, the biggest, hardest piece of this is the shields, right? The heat shields. So the technology we used this time around was way, way better than the technology in '69. But that is the most scariest part. You got to remember when it's coming back into the atmosphere, there is no communication. Imagine being those astronauts, and you're coming back into the atmosphere. There is no communication. You're traveling so fast and at such heat. There's no communication. So the next thing you do is all the chutes deploy. First, the original chutes, and then the 3 chutes you probably saw on TV that actually land you in the water. And they don't know what's going. Like when you're coming down through there, it's like you're either going to die, or you're gonna make it. I mean, that's got to be such an exhilarating. You got to believe in the equipment and all the people. And so even if you say you didn't go to the moon, we all saw that thing come down from way up in the sky, and it better work. Otherwise, they're all dead. And that's got to be the best ride of ever. I mean, Cedar Point could not even come close to creating a ride that would be like that ride. And you really are putting your hands in other people's hands at that point in time. So let's
Van
go
Allen
Alex
is a-
O crypto. Let's run some Alex O stuff. You got some Alex O stuff?
Well, as
Dave?
we're headed out, sure, I got something we can play in the background as we're headed out there. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure that it'll be all right.
We love Alex O. Miss you, brother. Got to catch up with you soon here. No, you got to run the little.
Let's say the Van Allen radiation belt are two zones of trapped high-energy particles surrounding Earth that holds intense radiation. While they
Oh, the
present a
radiation.
serious radiation risk, they do not stop travel to the moon. Supposedly, the Apollo astronauts navigated them by moving through the thinner areas, limiting their exposure. So it doesn't make sense to me still. So I went through the small part of the radiation belt. It would kill you more than likely any other part. But none of it makes sense to me, Billy.
I hear you. You need to show Alex your new joke between Billy Goat Tales and the Otter Gang.
No, that's the one you want. Okay, I'll show it to Alex. I'm sure that he was already in there, but we'll play it right now.
Why did the otter cross the road? To get to the otter side.
Okay, now my turn. Why did the goat put open club in the chat? Because they want to dance. Woo! That's what I'm talking about.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Billy Goat Tales on a Sunday. We hit that 2-hour mark. It went fast. It went furious. We appreciate all of you for tuning in. Don't forget our X Space on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be talking about fear and how it stops you from getting to the next level. So make sure you check that out. And of course, every single Saturday, we have Dave Digital in simple terms, just talking with the AI and deep diving on some good stuff. And then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we got Dave on the treadmill doing some trading and treadmilling together. And our motivational mindset videos, motivational crypto videos we drop every single day, Monday through Friday. Until next time, we appreciate you guys spending some time with us here at Billy Goat Tales. We appreciate you. Adios. We'll see you next time. Love you, fam.
Education, motivation, crypto.
All three on one network. Billy Goat Tales. Join a live stream 5 times a week or take in one of our new pre-recorded video drops, and we have fire shorts too.
Don't miss anything. Subscribe now to @BillyGoatTales on YouTube.